In this video I am going to answer the following question. How expensive is a busking equipment? I already have another video about my busking setup, but without the cost. And you can find a lot of information online about equipment, like best amp for busking or the review about the Shure SM58. So I don't want to say the same things over and over again. I will just focus on the budget that you need for the amplification setup and on the budget for your very first day of busking. As you know by now, my favorite busking setup is with amplification, and this big guy is the ROLAND Street Cube EX. It is the only amp that I use for busking, and the cost of the amp is about $515 on Amazon. I used the amp now for 2 years and it never gave me a problem. The batteries that I use for the amp are 8 Energizer rechargeable batteries. These batteries support the max mode of the amp when plugged with a guitar and a microphone for 4 hours. And that is more than enough for me to have 2 or 3 sets during the day. The cost of these batteries is $22. And if you want, in the description of this video, I have a link to another video about the performance of these batteries. Also, you will need a charger to charge the batteries, and the cost of this is $20 on Amazon, and it will perfectly charge 4 batteries in 4 hours. Next, we have my guitar. I bought this guitar 5 years ago, and since then I never changed it. It is a chord guitar, and the model is GA5F BWNS, and I don't have any idea about what it means. I think I purchased this guitar for $480 in a local store in Florence when I was living in Italy. It was my first and only acoustic guitar that I could plug into an amplifier, and back then I just wanted to have a nice acoustic guitar. This is my super requested guitar strap. I got this as a present a few years ago, and you can find the same guitar strap on Amazon for $13. Another small tool that I use with the guitar is the capo, and it's just a capo. I bought this for $15 at the local store. And there are so many of them that I don't know which one to recommend. The other thing that I plug into my amplifier is only the microphone. This is the Shure SM58, and you can find it on Amazon for $110 included with the XLR cable. There are many cardioid microphones that you can buy. However, I got this for my birthday like 7 years ago, so I just used this. Now, this is an important part of my equipment, the trolley. I got this foldable trolley for $47 and I use it for 3 years now. The trolley is essential for busking when you have a lot of stuff and you have to take a long walk or get the bus to go for a busking set. And it has to be big enough if you want to bring your amplifier if you're planning to use one. Trolleys are very useful also when you're going for shopping and you have to buy a bunch of water. Like me, I like to drink water. On the trolley, I also put the mic stand and the music stand if I need it. I got both for $46 at the local shop. And I am sure you can find others that you like at the same price or less. Just don't get the ones that are too big, otherwise your trolley will become easily very heavy. I don't know what I'm doing. Lastly, if you use a guitar like me, I recommend to buy an angle jack cable, like this one. I got this at the local store for $10. An angle jack cable will produce less mechanical stress in the plug of your guitar with a neat and clean connection. To pack all this stuff into the trolley, I use a couple of bungee cords. These cords are very cheap and I think I got them for $5. And you can find them literally everywhere. And there's nothing to say about these cords, just use them to wrap all your stuff into the trolley. The final cost of my equipment is a whopping $1,283, which is very expensive. However, the first thing that I bought was the guitar, and only when I started some gigs in Italy, I decided to buy the amplifier. The microphone was a present of 7 years ago, and I only bought the trolley when I started busking. So don't be scared by the price. It looks expensive, and it is, but I didn't get all the equipment on the same day. It took me literally years. If you plan to start busking, I recommend trying acoustic for the very first time. So without the amp, the microphone and the mic stand, you don't need a trolley. And the cost of the equipment will be only $531, which is the cost of the guitar, the music stand, the guitar strap and the capo. And if you already have the guitar with all the tools, which is probably the case because you are a musician if you want to start busking, well, you will only need a sunny day for your very first day. If you want to upgrade, which I recommend, and you are going to busk in a place where there is a lot of people, I suggest using an amp, for the only fact that it will support your voice while singing.
I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed.
Oh, I heard there was a secret chord that David played.
Busking with an amp in a crowded space is much easier and healthier for your voice, and people will hear you. I have a video about busking with amplification or just acoustic in the description below if you wanna have a look. There are many amps that you can buy under $400, and I've seen many buskers using the ROLAND Cube Street without the EX, which is the smaller version of the amplifier that I have.
I use a ROLAND Street Cube amplifier.
But it is portable and loud enough to play in crowded streets, and you can find it online for less than $350. Now, if you've seen some buskers on the street with a big equipment, you're probably thinking, oh, I have to buy a really expensive amplifier, then I need a good guitar with good strings, I have to buy a really expensive microphone, why not if I buy a loop pedal, maybe a compressor pedal, or even a harmonizer pedal, and why not a Wi-Fi connection between the guitar to the amp to have the perfect setup? I need money! The equipment is great to expand your creativity as a busker, but first, all you have to do is to invest on your skills as a musician, practice different songs at home and on the street with what you already have. This has an unmeasurable value which is higher than all the gear that money can buy. You don't need to buy all this equipment other than your instrument to start busking. Take action now! You just have to be a musician to start busking. The street is not a club only for buskers with pedals and big amps. The sooner you start busking, the better you'll understand what it's like to be on the street and in front of the people. So, what are you waiting for? The streets are public. Everyone's invited.